a minute since I covered Chainsaw Man on this channel. It's actually been that long since the last Chainsaw Man video that I made. It was actually 4 months ago. It's a long time, and there wasn't really any particular reason for this other than I just kind of fell off the series. Sometimes it happens and just wasn't really hitting the same for me. It just kind of fell off it. There wasn't anything like particular where I was like, yeah, not for me anymore. It was just one of those. However, after a little brief reread of part 1 and part 2, I have found myself with a new appreciation for how crazy Chainsaw Man really actually is, and part 2 kind of feels like it's really nailing that home this week. Like, Fujimoto is just sort of like, yep, we're all aboard the crazy chain this week. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, get some massive PP energy, and as always, let's just get into the video. This chapter opens up where we left off from the previous one, with Denji having just been left in a cinema by Yoshida, who has apparently set up Denji with this quote-unquote girl from his class who wants to, quote, date Denji, and I say this in quotation marks because so far any female character that Denji has come into contact with has turned out to be an absolute harlot of a human being or a devil, so that's why I use quotations on that one. And they've only ever just wanted to kill him, harm him, or maim him, or just generally cause him distress in some sort of capacity. But that chapter ended with his harlot inappropriately touching Denji on his wiener, and those are words that I never really thought I'd ever say on this channel, but here we are here, and that's what we're saying now. Let's also really be real here for a second. It's crazy work with this unnamed woman harlot to just come out of the woodworks and just touch our Denji like that, just like that. But naturally, Denji, being Denji, freaks the fuck out of this occurrence. But he does actually calm down a bit within this chapter here, with this harlot now asking Denji if he's a virgin. And by the way, until we know her name, I am just going to refer to it as this harlot because she is a harlot. No further questions, Your Honor. But she goes on to ask Denji if he wants to have sex with her saying she's got nothing better to do anyway. And not only that, she then proceeds to tell him to go and lick the dead devil that's on front of them, and then they can do the deed. And first of all, that whole sentence reeks of manipulation. And then second of all, I'm praying for my man Denji, because realistically and hopefully eventually he will get a normal interaction with a female character in this series, because he really needs that. But does Fujimoto want to give us that anytime soon? Probably fucking not. We're probably going to get to see Denji suffer a whole lot more before we get any sort of normal interaction between him and a female character within this series. But Denji tells this harlot that she's, you know, you're kind of sketchy, and I wonder why. Nothing to do with how creepy this motherfucker looks, but Denji then goes on to say how he doesn't fall for honey traps anymore, and talks about how he's matured as a human being, then going on to say how he's sick of mindlessly obeying somebody for the bait that's just dangled right in front of him. All of that to be said, only for it to cut to the next panel and Denji to be going to town on a devil tentacle, and much to the amusement of the harlot in the seat in front of him, laughing at him. And I gotta be honest with you, I am very suspicious about every action that Denji takes in this series, about whether it's his own action or it's someone pulling the strings secretly, and even more so in this segment with how quickly the switch up happens. Like, the brother is literally dead set in his ways about him being matured. I don't know whether it's just comedic timing from Fujimoto or it is just, you know, it is just the way he wants to do things right now. But Denji is thinking to himself about how apparently this harlot is super fucking cute, as she's cackling at him while he's sucking on a devil tentacle. Again, a sentence I didn't really ever think I was saying, but hey, I love my job here. But right after this, we cut over to Denji and this harlot walking into a karaoke place so they can basically do the deed here. And there's a little cheeky Fujimoto Easter egg right here with it being called Karaoke Fujimoto. But this harlot then decides that before they do the deed, she's actually going to do some actual karaoke right now, with her starting to sing a song that is simply beautiful, like truly heartwarming lyrics, and I quote, smooch smooch, lovely, gropey horny, jiggle boing, schlick licky licky. Honestly, those lyrics deadass felt as if I was literally reading a Rick and Morty script right here, and I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if that's where Fujimoto even caught this idea from. I don't even know if that's a real song. I'm not even getting into that one, but we see Denji sat here wondering that if this wasn't a trap after all, and maybe even going as far as to think that maybe being normal actually isn't so bad. And oh my poor sweet summer child, this is so far from normal, you have no idea. But we are here. It's Chainsaw Man, and it's denji, unfortunately. And as this harlot carries on singing and having the time of her life, a dude comes running into the room swinging a bat, a baseball bat, at Denji's head, followed by a herd of other motherfuckers running in trying to beat Denji's ass. And as for their motives, I have no idea. Maybe they know who Denji is, or that he supports the Chainsaw Man. Who knows? I have no idea. Maybe even Yoshida maybe set this up. I don't even know at this point. There is so much going on within this story. I just can't really wrap my head around it. However, my suspicions with Yoshida are still there. It's still very valid, apparently, considering what's just happened. But either way, who knows? But they all pile on Denji like a scene out of the Matrix here, only for Denji to just start beating the brakes out of all of them with a baseball bat. Because why the fuck not? But listen, say what you will about our boy Denji. He might be misled, misguided, and all together collectively fucked up. But he's got hands. Or bats. But when it comes down to it, he can fight. And while this is all happening, there is still this harlot in the room still singing. And I'm sure these aren't just random lyrics. I'm sure that there's probably some sort of deeper meaning to these lyrics and why Fujimoto chose these ones and picked them out. And I'll leave that to one of the detectives in the comments to fill me in, because I'm probably sure that this might actually be a real song. I have no idea. And honestly, all of these lyrics, I'm not typing into my web browser. I don't even want that. I don't want those questions. But this chapter ends out with Denji genuinely looking as if he's having the time of his life after just beating the shit out of these dudes. Even with this harlot asking whether she's gonna sing the second verse, and with her now just saying, nah, this seems way more fun with them now both stood in a hallway in front of each other with baseball bats, getting ready to, I would assume, fight each other here. I don't know what Fujimoto takes to think up some of these chapters, but every Chainsaw Man chapter feels like a wild ride. I can't lie. Like, you have no idea what it's sort of unpredictable. Like, if someone said to me, oh, what's your predictions for Chainsaw Man? I would be like, something crazy. And that's it. It could be anything. And it's the same sort of scenario over in Jujutsu Kaisen right now. It's the same sort of thing. But genuinely, it was nice to cover this series again on the channel. I feel like I've kind of, after my reread, I have genuinely found a newfound invigoration and appreciation for part 2. Because I kind of fell off it. It wasn't really for me at the point. But now after a reread, it is actually kind of hitting different. And these chapters are genuinely starting to stack up and feel a lot more like part 1-y now. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. But that is everything from me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe, as it really does help me out. And as always, I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Much love, big kisses, peace.